Hey guys, Bowie here, and today we are going to talk about Wiha's MID Wyvern. And I know, you think I have lost my mind. Mid Snapfire? Already awful, and now I'm trying to shove MID Wyvern down your throat like Ice Frog did with status resistance. But hear me out. People told me that Mid Snapfire only worked last video because the games were clowny and already too easy, so I decided to start with a game Wiha was 8,000 gold behind, just to showcase that there is indeed a purpose to MID Wyvern. And while it is probably not a great idea to spam this every game, although we have pretty much played 9 games in a row, there are heroes that get shut down hard by Wyvern. The core idea of playing MID Wyvern is this item, because the hero has 1000 attack range, a high damage talent at level 10, the attack speed and the active of Orchid gives the hero a lot of kill potential, and you want to rush it because you increase the window where the enemies have no way to deal with your silence. But because you max Arctic Burn, boots is actually not really an issue a lot of times. You can kite people that go on you from afar, and you can easily cross high grounds, 3 areas, all of that on a super low cooldown. But even still, is Orchid that good on Wyvern for you to rush it every game? Orchid is in fact so good on Wyvern because unlike any other hero in the game, Wyvern has a hard disable that prevents Orchid from being dispelled, which is usually what makes Orchid balance. The fact that it is pretty cheap and super strong, but it can be dispelled by a lot of items. Sure, Orchid can be a good item on a lot of mid heroes like Storm, Quap, Void Spirit, but no other mid hero in the game can reliably prevent Uceptors, BKBs, and Mantas from dispelling Orchid. This means that even though you rush Orchid to prevent those items from fucking you over, as long as you're well positioned or you have a Blink Dagger to force engagements, there is no actual counter to this because besides an Aeon Disc or a Lincoln Sphere, and even that is arguable, and sure, you can rush any of these items as a position 1 or a position 2, but your game's probably gonna be ruined anyways, and Wyvern can just find another core that didn't build these items to do the same thing she was doing to you. Sure, I get it, rushing Orchid is great, Bowie, but why should I even pick this hero? Well, because of the way Winter's Curse works now, allowing you to do damage to people affected, there's probably no carry in the game that can withstand your combo, meaning you can really slow down the progression of heroes that rely on early game farm. As you can see in this gank, he uses Orchid plus Curse to get an even bigger duration of free damage on Anti-Mage. Provided you engage from Fog, even heroes like Lifestealer or Juggernaut that usually don't fear ganking heroes become easy praise. The hero I felt Wiha was trying to counter the most was Drow Ranger. Drow not only makes Winter's Curse stronger because everyone around her attacks faster, but she's a hero that has nothing against Wyvern. The cast point of Gust is shitty, so there's no way to react to Blink plus Curse, and at the same time, Cold Embrace is a really good way to handle multi-shot, and because Drow is usually picked as a carry, when you pick mid, you're gonna be able to counter that hero. Lone Druid is also one of the many heroes that get trashed by Wyvern. Usually though, it's much harder for a support Wyvern to even be in position to ult him, and even then, he might like the damage to kill Lone Druid since his levels are going to be much worse than Mid Wyvern, and also, it's only you that can deal damage during Winter's Curse. Heroes like Magnus and Juggernaut also have a lot of trouble versus Mid Wyvern. Just watch this game for instance, we talked about 8k advantage at the beginning. At one point, Wiha's team was 12k gold behind against a Mag Jug, the terror of pubs, but this hero is actually pretty great versus Magnus. Watch how Wiha is patient here. Even though they have Aegis and Cheese, he is looking for either Jug or Mag to control. And while you can always curse into Bloodthorn as we talked in the beginning, Mag is pretty fat at this stage, and there is a chance that he wouldn't die to the combo, so he forces BKB, and now, even if Mag survives, there's almost no chance he deals damage with RP, since the BKB is gonna be over. I also think Mid Wyvern can be amazing versus Sven, although there was no game of Wiha playing versus one for me to show you. And now that we know all of that, let's check how he plays the laning stage. While Wyvern might look like a shitty mid hero since her attack damage and range are awful, and she's a pretty shitty mid hero honestly. Her strength lies on the harass of Arctic Burn. And there's two types of lanes. The type of lane you max the ability first, since you can do insane damage from a very safe position while only spending 90 mana. For instance, this is a 900 HP Tiny, and every time he shows his facing lane, he takes a lot of damage. And while some heroes like Quap, Void Spirit might be able to disengage or might have enough attack range to be away from the Wyvern, other heroes just have to take it, and provided you constantly keep awarding lane, you can make up for your poor laning skills by sheer harass. This hero is also great at controlling runes, since the crazy attack range allows you to deny them. But I'm not gonna bullshit you. Did Weeha get destroyed by a Shadow Fiend with Wyvern? Yes. In bad matchups, the problem usually lies in the fact that you cannot reliably harass with Arctic Burn because of the enemy's attack range. And so, he would max Splinter Blast to secure range creeps and at least be able to control the lane. But it didn't matter that he got trashed in lane because his pick countered Lone Druid so hard that the game ended in 25 minutes. As I said in the beginning, I don't believe this is a hero you should spam to win MMR, but I do think there's games you can auto-win just by being able to last pick her. The playstyle for MID Wyvern is pretty simple. You're not really a ganking hero until Orchid, unless you find a great rune, and your job is to constantly push mid and harass anyone that gets there. Your hero can obviously aid with a TP, but do not make active moves to try and gank, rather react to ongoing fights close to your towers. Since your hero doesn't like to go boots, you get punished really hard by TPing and not getting anything done, and because you don't have boots, it's usually pretty easy for people to telegraph their moves and just run away. So make sure your TPs count. After you have Orchid though, you really need to start killing high profile heroes with smokings. You can even do it by yourself against almost every carry in the game, but it never hurts to have someone tagging along. The next item for Weeha is always Blink, because it further increases your kill potential, and it's also a great disengage item since Arctic Burn usually allows you to buy the 3 seconds to blink out of hard engagements. And sure, you can tell me that heroes like Oracle and Dazzle are hard counters to this style of Wyvern, but since you're playing it mid and using your brain cells to identify whether Winter Wyvern is a good pick or not, that shouldn't be a problem in most cases. Finally, the last items he gets are usually Blowthorn since it's a better Orchid, and we already agree that Wyvern uses the item better than almost any other hero in the game. And sometimes he gets a Dragonlance against heroes that are too mobile, or an MKB if he wants to dish even more damage. Travels is also a pretty good item since it allows you to split push, and this hero is pretty great at it. Hey guys, how is it going? Wednesday was my birthday, and because of it, I decided to give away to you guys. Despite everything, this year has been pretty great, so I want to share some of that by sending 3 Dota swag packs I made with stuff I gathered from different TIs I went to, and I will be sending them worldwide if you decide to join the contest. All you have to do is click the link in the description, and the contest will be running for about a month to give time to multiple viewers that maybe didn't watch this video to get to it. In case you want a bigger chance to win, you can join my Patreon that has a ton of other rewards. If you join any tier below the Meta Aficionado one, your chances of winning will double. But if you join the Meta Aficionado tier, you're gonna get 5 times better odds. Just DM me on Patreon with your Glim.io ID for me to update the odds. If you didn't hear of my Meta Aficionado Patreon tier, not only are you gonna get a weekly updated list of the 25 best heroes to play in Dota right now, and also how to build and when to pick them, but you also get a 20-minute weekly video of me talking about trends I noticed. Mask of Madness Anti-Mage, Veil X. That is the type of thing I will comment about in the videos before you even get the chance to watch the actual video on YouTube, and that might get you some free MMR before everyone else. Guys, thank you so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing. If you want a more premium experience than my Meta Aficionado tier, you can DM me on Twitter to get the rates for my coaching. If you got back to Dota because of COVID or the compendium, make sure to join our Discord server. There, you're going to find a pretty friendly bunch of people, and maybe you'll find someone to play ranked games with you. In case you want to watch me stream or play, follow me on Twitch. And that's it, guys.